All right, so you know how it is when you want to get up to speed on something new,
Mm.
something kind of complex,
Right.
and you want to do it quickly and efficiently,
Yeah.
like maybe you're hearing about some new tech trend like AI,
Hmm.
or you just want to kind of go deeper on some topic you're interested in
Yeah.
without having to spend hours and hours reading tons of articles and books and stuff.
Exactly.
So today we're going to try and help you do that.
Yeah, we're going deep.
We're taking a deep dive into AI and how it's being used
Yes.
for content creation.
Specifically, using a brand new tool that's just come out.
Yeah, so we've done the hard work.
We've sifted through the details.
You don't have to.
That's right.
So we're looking at a few different sources today
Uh-huh.
to get this information.
Yeah. So first, we've got a really great video from IBM Technology
Yes.
that explains, all those basic AI concepts.
Mhm.
And then we've got a couple of videos
Yes.
from Freedom Influencer and Christine Trends that are really practical.
Mhm.
They introduced this new tool
Yes.
called Google's Notebook LM.
Yeah, and they actually show you
They show you step by step
how to use it.
how to use it to create podcasts.
Exactly, which is amazing.
Yeah. So our goal today is kind of twofold.
All right.
We want to give you a good working understanding
Yes.
of what AI is,
Mm-hmm.
the different types of AI,
That are out there.
and how they relate to each other.
Yes.
And then second, we want to show you this
We want to get practical.
Google Notebook LM.
Yeah, and look at how to actually use it
In the real world,
in the real world to create content.
specifically for creating podcasts.
Yeah.
And we'll even look at
Yeah, I mean,
some ways you might be able to make money from it.
exactly how to potentially generate some income from it.
All right, so let's start at the beginning
Okay.
with AI itself.
Yeah.
So what is AI?
Well, according to that IBM video,
Mm-hmm.
AI is really about creating systems
Yeah.
that can mimic or even surpass
Wow.
human intelligence.
So like learning. Yes, things like learning.
Making inferences, reasoning.
Exactly. All those kind of uniquely human
Yeah.
cognitive abilities.
Okay, so this isn't a new idea.
No, not at all.
That video talked about how
Yeah.
AI research has been going on for a while.
It goes way back.
Yeah, and they mentioned some of those early programming languages.
Mm-hmm.
And even those things they called expert systems.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s.
It's pretty cool to see
It is.
how that groundwork has led us to where we are now.
Yeah.
So after that early stuff came,
So the next big thing was machine learning.
machine learning. Okay, so how is that different?
So this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Instead of, programming every single step,
Mhm.
you feed the computer massive amounts of data,
Wow.
and it learns from that data.
So it's learning by itself.
In a way, yeah, it figures out patterns.
Okay.
It can make predictions based on
Machine
what it's
learning.
learned.
Okay, so how is that
And
different?
it can even detect anomalies. So this is where it gets really interesting. Things
Okay.
that don't fit the pattern.
Okay, I'm thinking about that
programming every single
cybersecurity
step.
example they
You
gave
feed the
Yes.
computer
in the video
massive
where
amounts of
the
data.
AI
Wow.
learns
And it learns from that
what
data.
normal network traffic looks like.
In a way,
Exactly.
yeah.
So then it can flag anything suspicious.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
It is.
And they said the
Yeah.
machine learning really took off in the 2010s.
That's right.
It's amazing to think how much of our technology now uses it.
It's everywhere.
All right, so what came after machine learning?
So building on that is deep learning.
Deep learning.
Deep learning.
Okay, and how's that different?
So it takes this idea of learning from data even further
Okay.
by using something called neural networks.
Neural networks, like the brain.
Exactly. Think of it like interconnected layers
Mhm.
where each connection can adjust its weight,
It's weight.
kind of like our brains do.
Okay.
As we learn,
Yeah.
certain connections become stronger.
Okay, so that's why they call it deep learning.
Yeah. The deep refers to the fact that these networks can have many, many layers.
Mm.
So that makes them really good at learning complex patterns.
So it's like a more sophisticated way for machines to learn.
Yeah, like mimicking the complexity of our own brains.
Right. But they did say that
Yeah.
because there are so many layers,
Mm-hmm.
it can be hard to understand exactly how it reaches its conclusion.
That's true. It can be a bit of a black box sometimes.
Right.
We don't always know exactly why it makes a certain decision.
Okay. But even with that,
Yeah.
deep learning has led to some huge advancements.
Oh, absolutely. It's been crucial for things like image recognition,
Yeah.
natural language processing,
Okay.
all sorts of amazing things,
And that brings us to what everyone's talking about right now,
which is
generative AI.
generative AI.
So this is the AI that can actually create new content.
Yeah.
So how is that different from what we've talked about so far?
Well, it's powered by what they call foundation models.
Okay, foundation models.
Yeah. These are massive AI models that have been pre-trained on huge amounts of data.
Huge, like how much data are we talking about?
I mean, think the entire internet and more.
Right.
That's how these models are able to generate
Yeah.
really coherent text and other types of content.
Okay, so the video talked about LLMs
Large language models.
as an example.
Yeah, those were a key type of foundation model.
Okay, and they're basically like autocomplete on steroids.
Exactly. They can predict the next word, the next sentence, even whole paragraphs or documents.
That's pretty wild.
It is.
But the video also asked a really interesting question.
What was that?
Is it truly generative?
Right. Some people argue that it's just rearranging existing information.
Yes, so what's the counter argument to that?
Well, they use the analogy of music.
Okay.
Every musical note has already been created, right?
Yeah.
But we still consider new songs to be original.
Right, because of how those notes are arranged.
Exactly. It's the creative combination that matters.
And that's what generative AI does.
Yes, it takes existing data and combines it in new and interesting ways.
Okay, so it's not just about the individual pieces.
No, it's about the final output and how those pieces are put together.
And this isn't just limited to text, is it?
No, generative AI can create all sorts of content.
Yeah, I know they mentioned audio and video.
You've got AI models that can create realistic speech,
Wow.
music, even synthetic video.
Okay, and that brings us to deepfakes.
Right, which are a big concern.
Yeah, because they can be so convincing.
They can be very deceptive.
It's like a double-edged sword.
It is.
On one hand, you've got entertainment,
Yeah.
accessibility tools like restoring lost voices,
No.
but on the other hand, you've got the potential for misuse.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the big takeaway from that IBM video was that
Yeah.
generative AI
Mm-hmm.
is driving this huge surge in interest in AI
Definitely.
and adoption of it.
Yeah, I mean, compared to those earlier AI technologies,
Yeah.
generative AI has really captured the public imagination.
Okay, so now that we have a basic understanding of these different types of AI,
Right.
let's look at how Google is putting all of this into practice.
Yeah, let's get into Google's Notebook LM,
With their new Notebook LM tool.
which those Freedom Influencer and Christine Trends videos really focused on.
Okay, so first of all,
Yeah.
what is Notebook LM?
Well, it's this AI-powered tool
Mm-hmm.
that Google has created
Okay.
to help you make sense of tons of information.
So you can feed it like documents and articles,
Yeah, anything you've got.
transcripts, whatever.
And it becomes like your own personal research assistant.
Okay, so it can answer questions about that specific content.
Exactly. And the coolest thing is
Yeah.
this feature they call audio overview
Yes.
that both of those videos talked about.
What does it do?
So this feature is really innovative.
Okay.
Takes whatever you've uploaded
Yeah.
and turns it into this engaging audio discussion
Really?
with two AI hosts.
So it's like having your own AI podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Summarizing your research.
So how do you get started with this?
All right, so it's actually pretty user-friendly.
Oh,
You just go to notebooklm.google in your browser, and there you'll see your workspace where you can create new notebooks.
okay.
And to generate that podcast-style audio,
Mm-hmm.
you just create a new notebook
Okay.
and upload your source material.
And what kinds of source material can you use?
So they mentioned a few different options. You
Mhm.
can directly link to files you've got in your Google Drive.
Okay.
You can paste in website URLs.
Okay.
You can even use YouTube video URLs.
Oh, wow.
But they did say
Yeah.
that sometimes those direct YouTube links can be a little glitchy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they suggested
Okay.
if you have trouble, you can just grab the transcript
Right.
of the video and paste that in as plain text.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, and then the video showed
Yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to